Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at how your future spouse will handle conflict within the marriage. This was a requested topic from a subscriber, so I very quickly just wanted to say thank you to the subscriber for recommending this topic. We're going to go ahead and get started for you, pile number 1, and we're going to see how your future spouse will handle conflict within the marriage, because conflict, disagreements, arguments are inevitable in every relationship. For pile number 1, please Spirit, how will pile number 1's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? So we're starting off with the 9 of Wings, which is the 9 of Swords. How will pile 1's future spouse? We have the 3 of Roses, which is the 3 of Wands. We have the Prince of Roses, which is the Knight of Wands. How will pile 1's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, Spirit? How will pile 1's future spouse handle conflict? Thank you. And we have Death. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Roses, which is the 7 of Wands. Okay, so pile number 1, the first thing that I'm picking up on is that your future spouse is someone who, they're the kind of persons who want to resolve any kind of issues that you may have before, going to sleep or, going to bed for the night. This person doesn't like to let things linger because it causes them to have a lot of stress and anxiety. It's like they'll constantly think about it if they're unable to resolve it in the moment, or if they're unable to resolve it in a timely manner. Your future spouse feels like someone who is always going to want to try and solve the problem as quickly as possible. This is someone who's always trying to, I guess they're just trying to figure out the best course of action whenever the two of you have any kind of disagreement, or altercation or conflict. They're always trying to look and see what's the best route, what's the best course of action to navigate through this, okay? With the Knight of Wands being here, I do feel like this is someone who is going to take action. They're going to take action to try and remedy the situation as quickly as possible, okay? This isn't someone who likes to let things kind of fester. They're not someone that tries to avoid talking about things, or they don't try to avoid conflict. Their whole mindset when it comes to conflict or disagreements within the marriage is, how can we move past this as quickly as possible, okay? And another thing that I'm getting with this Death card being here is that your future spouse is someone who's not afraid of significant change and transformation. So what I mean by this is that if there's something that your future spouse is doing, like a habit of some sort, let's just say that your future spouse, and this is just an example, I'm not saying that they actually are like this, but let's just say your future spouse is a smoker, right? And you can't stand that they're a smoker. It's not something that tickles your fancy, I guess. And you really wish that they would stop smoking, and maybe the two of you get into a little bit of an argument about it. Your future spouse would, I feel like, go down that path of quitting smoking to remedy the situation with that Death card, because the Death card is a very significant transformation. It's about closing the door shut to the past to move into the future. So I feel like your future spouse is someone who would be willing to make any changes necessary, no matter how big or small, to remedy the situation here. Because once again, there's this feeling of if the two of you have an altercation or a disagreement, it's going to kind of like drive them nuts if they're unable to fix the situation, okay? But yeah, with the Three of Wands being here, the Three of Roses, this person is always looking at ways to just fix things. You know, they're always looking towards the future. This is someone who I feel like, you know, like I said, if they have any kind of bad habits or if they do things that rub you the wrong way, if you communicate that to them, they're going to do what needs to be done to fix those bad habits or change those bad habits. But yeah, I feel like your future spouse is going to be very like protective of this relationship and of this marriage. So that's part of the reason why they're so willing to do what it takes to make this work, you know? And that's not to say that they're like a pushover or anything. I just think that when it comes to certain things within the marriage, certain things may come up. This person is going to do what it takes to make sure that you're happy and satisfied in this marriage, okay? To make sure that both of you are happy and satisfied in this marriage. I think their biggest thing is wanting to make sure that this is a healthy marriage, a healthy connection, a healthy relationship. Okay, I want to go ahead and get into your oracle cards now, pile number 1. Let's see, how will pile number 1's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please, Spirit? How will pile 1's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? Okay, so we have 2 cards coming out. We have the Prince with romantic charm and potential for power, and we have the Poet, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So I do see that, like, if your future spouse is a more masculine energy specifically, I do see that this is someone who's going to try and use like romance, doing like romantic gestures and romantic charm to try and smooth things over if the two of you have an argument, especially if they were in the wrong. I think either way, your future spouse is someone who definitely likes to try and use romance to almost kind of like get back on your good side if they do something to upset you, or you know, if there was just a tiff between the two of you, they're the type to like bring you flowers, to apologize, or plan a really romantic date, something like that, to kind of smooth over anything that may have occurred within this marriage. And with the Poet being here, this person, I think, first of all, they like to communicate. With the Poet coming through, this is someone who likes to talk things through. Once again, there's that message coming through of the fact that this person doesn't like to just let things sit and fester. They like to kind of nip it in the bud if they can. They're always looking for ways to push forward and move forward in times of difficulty. And I think like part of that is them wanting to talk, wanting to communicate, them wanting to just, you know, nip it in the bud if they can. And I do feel like this is someone who's going to, when they speak to you, they're going to speak to you in a very gentle manner. This isn't someone who uses harsh words. This isn't someone who's going to like throw punches verbally just to kind of make you mad or get under your skin or hurt you in any way. That's not how this person operates when it comes to handling conflict with you. They're very sweet, very caring, very compassionate, and they choose their words very carefully when they speak to you, even in times of conflict or difficulty. They will always kind of be that lover to you. I feel like this is someone who can definitely keep their composure in times of conflict. They do feel fairly calm, like their energy feels very calm. So if you're kind of getting riled up, for example, this person is going to, instead of like meeting you at that same level of getting riled up and getting aggressive, just an example, they are going to kind of keep their composure. That's not to say, of course, that you get riled up or aggressive or anything like that. That's just the example that was coming through, that, you know, if you start getting kind of amped up in any way, this person kind of reels that in, and they keep their composure and they keep this gentleness about them. And yeah, this person does feel very romantic, I'm gonna be honest, and this person feels like a problem solver. And they just speak to you very, very calmly, very nicely. They're very, very sweet to you, even in these difficult moments that the two of you may go through. Because like I said, it is kind of inevitable. We all go through challenging times in our relationships. And that's not to say that you're going to have any like significantly challenging times, but you know, in those times of disagreements, this person is going to keep their composure and try and solve the problem as quickly as possible. And they're going to do whatever it takes to move forward. So let's see what else I can get for you, pile number one. How will pile number one's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, Spirit? So we have you are good enough with full moon in Virgo, and it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. Okay, you are good enough. So this you are good enough card can really speak about needing to be very honest and needing to clear out anything that is not serving. So once again, there is this message coming through that your future spouse is someone who wants to nip things in the bud. This is someone who wants to work through problems as quickly as possible or as soon as possible. They don't like to let things just sit and linger, because it does, like I said, it causes them stress and anxiety when things aren't being remedied. So with this card coming through, first of all, I feel like your future spouse is someone who's very honest. Okay, this isn't someone who is going to lie to you just to smooth things over or just to keep the peace. No, this is someone who's going to be very honest with you. Once again, communication is very important to this person, and having that open, honest communication with you is going to be vitally important in how this person handles conflict. But once again, there's this energy of clearing, needing to clear anything that's not serving, needing to clear anything that is causing, stress, anxiety, overthinking. So there's this message coming through of, this person just wanting to have open, honest dialogue to be able to clear whatever is causing any kind of conflict or disagreement within the marriage. They just want to move forward. They want to clear the air and move forward. They don't want to brush it under the rug, but they want to navigate through it so that the two of you can move forward together. Okay. Your future spouse feels very mature, very mature person. Like, they don't run away from their problems. They don't try and like act like it doesn't exist, but they're also not like argumentative either. They're very calm, very collected, and they like to navigate through these challenges and these moments of conflict in the best way that they can. And they're always looking for solutions. Okay, that's how this person operates. They're always looking for solutions. They're always looking at how to make things better within this marriage. Let's get you one more card, pile one. How will pile number one's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, Spirit? Okay, we have two cards. So we have Bluebird Spirit with happiness and Elves with playfulness. Okay, so kind of going back to like this romantic energy that I feel like your future spouse is going to embody even in times of conflict. I think that your future spouse is someone who's going to want to like sit down, talk things through. They might buy you some flowers or chocolates or something. But I also feel like after kind of clearing the air and talking things through, I feel like your future spouse would end this conversation with like a joke, They never want to like I said, they never want to go to sleep without solving a disagreement or an argument. They never want the two of you to go to sleep mad at each other. They're always going to want to make sure that the marriage stays in like a high vibrational state, okay? Your happiness, their happiness is incredibly important to your future spouse. Like I was saying earlier, this person feels very protective of you and this marriage. They want things to be good, you know, they want things to be successful, they want things to be healthy in this marriage. And so I feel like they're the kind of person to like crack a joke, which kind of makes you break a smile even if you don't want to. Like they kind of give that energy of like just wanting to make you laugh at the end of the day, you know? So yeah, I feel like your future spouse just has that way about them. They just want to see you happy, pile one, okay? They want to see you happy. They want to make sure that things remain good, that things remain healthy in this marriage, in this relationship, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that things are good between the two of you, okay? But yeah, they're definitely the type to crack a joke just to see you smile. They're definitely that type, and then they just want to move forward, you know? They just want to move forward. They don't want things to just sit and fester and boil over, you know? They want to clear the air as quickly as possible. So yeah, pile number 1, I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. I want to thank you so much for being here with me today, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at how your future spouse will handle conflict within the marriage. This is a topic that was requested by a subscriber. I want to say thank you so much to this subscriber for recommending this topic. We are going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with your tarot, and then we will move into your oracle cards. For pile number 2, please, Spirit, pile number 2. How will pile number 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? How will pile 2's... Okay, so we're starting off with the Queen of Shells, which is the Queen of Cups. Already having like a pretty good start to this with this Queen of Cups coming out. How will pile number 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please, Spirit? We have the Princess of Roses, which is the Page of Wands. How will pile 2's... Okay, so we also have Judgment. Oh, we have 3 cards here. I don't want 3. I just want 2. How will pile 2's future spouse? We have the Five of Shells, which is the 5 of Cups. Let's get one more. How will pile 2's? And we have the three of Shells, the 3 of Cups. Okay. We have heavy water energy here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, bottom of the deck, we do have the High Priestess. Okay. With the High Priestess being at the bottom of the deck, I can see that there's definitely a strong intuitive connection between you and your future spouse. I can see that the two of you probably are like very like telepathically connected. There's this sense of you kind of know what each other are thinking or feeling without saying it. So with the Queen of Shells being here, this person may be a water sign or you may be a water sign, but I see that this person definitely feels very strongly, like they feel their emotions very strongly, and I think that they're someone who is quite literally an empath, with this saying the empath on the bottom of the card. This person is very empathetic towards you, first of all, okay? They are someone who will always kind of put themselves in your shoes if you ever come to them with something that's been on your mind or something that's been bothering you. This is the kind of person to always look at things from your perspective and put themselves in your shoes, to try and understand where you're coming from. This is someone who's always going to want to hear you out or hear your side of the story or hear what you have to say. This is someone I feel that cares very deeply about you, okay? Very, very deeply. They care how you feel. They care about, how they make you feel. They care about how their actions affect you. This is someone who's incredibly considerate of you and your feelings. They feel what you feel. There's kind of like a mirroring energy here as well. But once again, there's like this telepathic connection between the two of you. So it almost kind of feels like whatever you feel, they feel too. There's that kind of connection between the two of you. So naturally, this person is going to want to do what it takes to remedy any kind of conflict that the two of you may be experiencing or any kind of disagreements that the two of you may be experiencing, because if you're upset, they're upset. And if they're upset, you're upset. The two of you feel each other's emotions very, very deeply here. Okay. This person feels like an innovator. Okay. If I'm being honest, pile 2, I feel like the kind of conflict that, it's not even conflict that the two of you will experience with this person. Like, I don't even feel like the two of you would experience too much conflict within the marriage itself. It kind of feels like external circumstances that could put a strain on like you individually. So for example, say there was a restaurant that you really wanted to go to, and so your future spouse, made reservations or whatever, but then you get there and you realize that they never put your reservation down and they were completely booked for the evening. So you weren't able to go to that restaurant, but you were like super duper excited about it. And you feel this sense of disappointment, right? Your future spouse, even though this isn't like a conflict between the two of you, it's like an external disappointment that has affected you. Your future spouse is going to be like, okay, well, that sucks, but maybe we can go here instead. Maybe we can go do this instead. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. I've been wanting to go there too. So that works. Like your future spouse feels like a problem solver in that way. And I think that they're the kind of person to just do what it takes to make you happy and see you smile. And yeah, it does feel like there's not much that happens between the two of you. Like there's not many disagreements or anything, and if there are, they're very small and they're worked through pretty quickly. It doesn't feel like anything significant, and I think it's just because of this emotional connection that the two of you have. But yeah, I feel like your future spouse is someone who's like, well, let's go do this instead, or let's try this instead. How can we, do things differently and still get the same results that will bring in, happiness with that 3 of Shells energy. Yeah, it kind of feels like in this marriage, it's like whatever happens, whatever conflict or disagreements that may happen, and like I said, I don't feel like it's going to be many. Like I really, really don't. I feel like most of the like disappointing energy or conflicting energy comes from external circumstances that are very minute, if I'm being honest. Your future spouse is just someone who's like, okay, well, let's go do this instead. Let's try this instead. Let's do things this way instead. And every solution that they present to you puts a smile on your face with that 3 of Cups. Every single time, it always puts a smile on your face. They just know how to make things better, And I feel like they're the kind of person to never belittle you for like your feelings or make you feel stupid for your like how you're feeling. They're never going to make you feel that way, pile 2. There's someone who's always going to want to understand where you're coming from and why you feel the way you do. It's a very compassionate person, honestly, very, very compassionate, very loving and caring in that way. This is definitely someone that like you could pour your heart out to this person and like they would just hold you. They hold space for you, pile 2, if I'm being very, very honest. But there's also, like I said, that telepathic connection between the two of you that's very, very strong. So this person always kind of, picks up on things before you even say it. And sometimes I feel like if you are feeling a certain way, they can pick up on it before you say anything, and they're already working on a plan to remedy this, or they're already trying to figure out how to move past this energy, how to make you happy, how to make you smile, how to get you to move past anything that is causing you discomfort. Yeah, this person is very, very sweet, pile 2. Very, very sweet person. So I want to go ahead and get into your oracle cards. Now, pile number 2. How will pile number 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage? How will pile 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, Spirit? Pile 2. Okay. So we have the networker, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So we have empathy here twice on this card, and the Queen of Shells here. So once again, that message coming through that your future spouse is a very empathetic person. There's someone who is always, first of all, the two of you are very telepathically connected, so they can't help but feel what you feel. If you're sad, they're sad. If you're mad, they're mad. But once again, those feelings more so feel like they're coming from external circumstances and not between the two of you most of the time. I also am getting this message with the Princess of Roses that this is someone who's always going to stick up for you. This is someone who's always going to have your back. Someone that, if there's an injustice in any way from, other people or what have you, this is someone who's always going to stick up for you and have your back. And there's also this message of, this person's communication skills. And this person really values communication. So that's another thing. The two of you are always going to talk things through, or this person is always wanting to talk things through. There's also this message coming through because networker is making me think of like the internet or like reaching out to other people, literally networking. I feel like your future spouse is someone to, for example, like reach out to your best friends or your close family members as a way to try and understand you better, maybe try and understand what makes you tick or why you are the way you are or why certain things affect you the way that they do. They might, look for external information to try and understand you better or to try and remedy the situation a little bit better. That message is also coming through. They might try and get advice from people that know you really, really well, people that really care for you. Like I said, close friends and family here. This feels like the type of person to try and, reach out and get advice on how to navigate certain things as well. We also have the femme fatale, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. So with the femme fatale here, there's this message coming through that your future spouse is someone who is gonna like hype you up, okay? Your future spouse is your biggest cheerleader, pile 2. Your biggest cheerleader. They always want to see you win. They always want to see you grow and evolve. And they are just the type of person to hype you up, like for sure. And I feel like when it comes to any kind of conflict that may be happening, at the end of the day, your future spouse is going to compliment you and hype you up. Once again, like I was saying, I feel like most of the conflict is external circumstances that may happen. So if you're left feeling disappointed by something didn't work out, your future spouse is going to just try and hype you up and make you feel better and help you remember your worth. And I'm also once again getting this message of like, your future spouse is someone who's going to like wine and dine you. They're going to want to take you out. They're going to want to make you just like feel good and feel, if you're a feminine, they're going to want to make you feel very just like in your feminine energy. So, if there's some sort of a conflict or disagreement, they're going to just try and do what they can to make you feel loved and appreciated and admired. And, you know, sometimes that requires them seeking like external advice or external, I guess, experiences. If they want to like take you out somewhere fancy or do something that you've been wanting to do, or just something that's going to really light up your world, is what I'm hearing. So yeah, this person is your hype man or hype woman, pile 2. They just want you to feel good and to feel confident in yourself, and they're going to do what it takes to help you feel that way in times when you're feeling less than, or in times where you're dealing with like low self-esteem. And I know this is kind of like side note messages, but that is what's coming through here. This person is your biggest cheerleader, and they always want you to remember just how amazing and powerful and incredible you are. And so, yeah, that's what's coming through. I want to go ahead and get some more cards here for you, pile number 2. Pile number 2. This is also the type of person to like want to take you shopping or like buy you something that will make you feel really, really confident in yourself, as a way to kind of remedy any sort of conflict or disagreement. For pile number 2, please, Spirit, pile number 2. How will pile number 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? How will pile 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage? We have, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Yeah. This person wants to do what it takes to release any kind of negative energy, any kind of like, obviously we're talking about conflict and disagreement, so anything that it takes to move past conflict or disagreement within the marriage, they're going to do what it takes. And sometimes that requires research on their part. Sometimes that requires them getting advice from external sources. They're going to do what it takes to move past any sort of negativity or conflict within the marriage, or like external things that are affecting you or them on an individual level. We have nothing will come of this situation at the bottom of the deck. So once again, I'm getting this message that you and your future spouse are not going to have a lot of conflict. If like between the two of you in the marriage itself, you're not going to have a lot of conflict, okay? And when you do, it's not something that has a significant impact on the marriage itself or on the connection itself. Once again, I think it's also partially because the two of you feel each other's emotions so deeply and so strongly with that High Priestess that, you know, it's almost impossible to like let negative emotions fester and just let them sit there, like, because then both of you would feel unsatisfied, you know? So it's almost like impossible to just let things sit in a negative energy, because it affects both of you very, very deeply. But also, I just feel like the two of you are such a great match that there's not much that happens in a negative sense between the two of you. Obviously, that doesn't mean that there's never going to be things that happen. Of course, there might be little tiffs and disagreements here and there, but I think overall, there's nothing significant that really happens in this marriage in a negative sense. But when there is, you know, your future spouse is someone who's like, okay, what can we do to move past this? You know, what can I do to help you move past this? How can I put a smile on your face? How can I, you know, redirect things on a better path with that Page of Wands energy? This does feel like someone who can be very innovative as well. You know, they might try different things depending on the situation. They're not going to do the same things. Like, for every like argument or disagreement, they're not going to use the same remedy each time. They're going to kind of they're the kind of person to come up with a different solution each time depending on what's going on, you know? So it's not like if they make you upset, for example, they're not going to just like buy you flowers every single time to try and make up for it. They're going to do something different depending on the situation and what they deem fit for that situation, okay? Yeah, this person is a problem solver, similar to pile 1. Definitely got some problem solvers in here, which is really nice. Okay, let's see what else we can get for you. Pile number 2. Spirit, how will pile number 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? So we have Hummingbird Spirit with joy, and we're going to get one more. How will pile 2's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage? We have Sanctuary. I love that. Because this Sanctuary card coming out is telling me that this person is your safe space. Okay, your happiness is like extremely important to your future spouse, pile 2. Okay, like extremely important. Nothing more important to this person than your happiness and your contentment within this marriage. Okay, so they're going to do what it takes to put a smile on your face. Like I said, with that 3 of Cups, the celebration energy, they just want to see you happy, and they're going to do what it takes to see you happy. But this Sanctuary card coming out is telling me that this person is your safe space. This is someone that, like I said, you can pour your heart out to this person. This person, you know, they're your shoulder to cry on. They're your person to lean on. This is your safe space. And once again, there was this feeling of like, if there is any sort of conflict that could affect the marriage, it's external things that are affecting you individually. So once again, for example, let's say, let's just say you didn't get a job that you really, really wanted, and you're left feeling a little bit sad and disappointed about this. And so you come to your future spouse and you're feeling all of these like negative, disappointed energies. Your future spouse is going to feel very empathetic towards you, and, you know, they will just hold space for you to feel those emotions, but then they're going to do what it takes to try and make you happy and put a smile back on your face. And like I said, they're going to do something different every single time. Like anytime that you come to them feeling sad or disappointed or upset or hurt, they're going to do something different every single time to try and make things better and try and put a smile on your face. But ultimately, this person is your safe space, pile 2. This person is so loving and caring and compassionate, and they just hold space for you. You know, they hold space for you. They always try and understand how you're feeling and why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and they just want to move past it. They want to release it. They want to work through it. And at the end of the day, they just want to make sure that you're happy and that you're fulfilled and that you're content in this marriage. So this is a very beautiful energy, pile number 2. I am going to go ahead and leave this here for you. I want to thank you so much for being here with me today, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi pile 3, welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at how your future spouse will handle conflict within the marriage. This was a requested topic from a subscriber, so I want to say thank you to the subscriber who recommended this topic. We are going to go ahead and get started. We are going to start off with your tarot, and then we will move into your oracle cards. For pile number 3, please, Spirit, pile number 3. How will pile number 3's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? So we are starting off with the Ace of Gems, which is the Ace of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Wings, which is the 9 of Swords. How will pile 3's future spouse? We have the Ace of Wings, which is the Ace of Swords. And let's get one more card, please, Spirit. How will pile 3's future spouse handle conflict in the marriage, please? How will pile 3? Okay, we'll take those 2. So we have the High Priestess, Death, and the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Okay, the first message that I'm getting with this Hierophant being at the bottom of the deck is that your future spouse takes this marriage very, very seriously. Okay, this is something that is very important to them. This marriage, this relationship is incredibly important to them. They take it very seriously. And I feel like this might be like a fairly traditional sort of marriage for some of you, because this is a card of tradition, but I just overall get the sense that this person just takes this marriage to be very, like, they take it very seriously. You know, this isn't a game for them. This is something that they want to put their all into to make sure that this is a marriage that stands the test of time. That is the first message that I'm getting with that card. I'm also getting that for some of you here, not all of you, for a few of you, religion or spirituality might be very important in this marriage. Like the two of you might like go to church or go to church or go to a place of worship together, and that might be something that is really important to the both of you. And if you are someone who is religious and you go to a place of worship, it could be that your future spouse is someone who seeks counsel or advice from spiritual leaders in your religion. Once again, that's not for everyone, but that message was coming through as well with that Hierophant energy, that your future spouse may seek counsel or advice from a spiritual leader if the two of you are religious. Okay, once again, that's not for everyone. So only take that if it resonates. So your future spouse, pile 3. What I'm actually getting for you, pile number 3, is that there's kind of this progression within this relationship and this marriage, and how this person kind of deals with conflict or disagreements. I think towards the beginning of this relationship or towards this marriage, this person is going to almost have no clue. And I don't want to say no clue, but it kind of feels that way. That's what came through. That's the words that came through. This person has no clue or very little clue of how to successfully navigate certain things with you. I think that this person is someone who, like, they don't like to let things fester. This has been a common theme through all the piles. Like, your future spouse is not someone who likes to just let things sit. They like to try and resolve things, because with that 9 of Swords, conflict and disagreements really stress this person out. And if it's not resolved, they'll just continue to think about it and stress over it. And, you know, it causes them a lot of mental strife. So this is someone who wants to, you know, navigate through difficulties and work through difficulties. But I feel like at the beginning of this relationship, this person isn't going to necessarily know exactly how to do that. And so with this Ace of Gems, it's almost like an opportunity for them to learn how to handle conflict properly. And it could be for some of you that it's because this person hasn't had a serious relationship prior to you, so they've never really had to work through certain conflicts. That's for a select few of you as well, especially if you're someone who resonates with, you know, having that religious background. You know, this person may just have never had to deal with certain things that are going to come up in this marriage. So they're kind of taking this as an opportunity to learn in the beginning stages of this relationship. They're taking this as an opportunity to learn how to navigate through conflict with you. And I feel like there's going to come a point where this person kind of understands exactly how to navigate through this. I'm honestly not getting a whole lot about how they're navigating through this, but I feel like the bigger message here is that this person is going to learn exactly how to navigate things with you in a way that is going to be beneficial for both of you, okay? So I feel like with the High Priestess being here, so this person goes from being kind of like uncertain about how to navigate through conflict with you to being someone who just intuitively knows what to do and when to do it. And I feel like sometimes, you know, once this person kind of goes through this transformation of understanding you better and understanding how to navigate things with you better, This person can kind of pick up on things before it actually happens. Like, if you're upset about something, but you haven't like verbally said anything to this person will be able to kind of pick up on that before you even say anything. But once again, that's a process for this person to get to that point. Because I think in the beginning, they're not going to necessarily understand how to do that or how to pick up on that. And it's kind of like a learning process. But with this Ace of Wings being here, Triumph, I feel like anytime you go through any sort of disagreement or altercation or conflict, the two of you will always make it out on the other side, okay? The two of you will always be triumphant in conquering this conflict, okay? But I do feel like for this person, it's a learning process on how to do this. But they, like I said, they take this marriage very seriously. So even though they're kind of uncertain about how to go about things in the beginning, they will definitely learn. And I think that, after a certain period of time, they're going to just instinctively know what to do. They're going to kind of pick up on, your feelings, and they're going to know exactly how to remedy things, but like I said, it is a process for this person. And sometimes I think, especially in the beginning, they may seek counsel or advice from people that they trust. Even if they're not religious, they could be seeking advice from their parents or something like that, about how to navigate through things, because they do take this very, very seriously. I want to go ahead and get into your oracle cards now. Pile number 3. I'm also seeing that this person could, sometimes, especially in the beginning of this relationship, spend a lot of time in reflection. When it comes to conflict in this marriage, they might spend a lot of time like in their head and reflecting on things. And in those times of reflection, that's when this person kind of has these aha moments about what to do next. I feel that especially in the beginning stages of this marriage. How will pile 3's future spouse handle conflict within this marriage, Spirit? So we have the Engineer. Ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So this person is a problem solver with the Engineer card coming through. Okay, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. This person is definitely a problem solver. And they might think a little bit out of the box. With this Engineer card coming through, it's giving me heavy air energy. So I think that this person is probably very logical, very rational thinker. And so that might also be part of the reason why it's a little bit difficult for them in the beginning to understand how to navigate through certain problems or certain conflict that the two of you may experience, because they're just such a rational and logical thinker. And sometimes logic isn't always the best way to go about certain things in life, but they are someone who's a problem solver. They're someone who's going to think outside of the box and come up with solutions. And I think that, once again, in their times of reflection and in their time of just thinking things through, that's when they kind of have those epiphanies about what to do next and like how to remedy the situation. I want to get one more of these. How will pile 3's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, Spirit? Pile 3. We have the Warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. This person will put their pride aside, is what I'm getting with this card. Once again, this feeling of this person isn't someone who gives up on this marriage. They take it very, very seriously, pile 3. But this person is going to put their pride to the side, put their ego to the side, and that might be something that, once again, they may have to learn in the beginning of this marriage or in the beginning of this relationship, because I think, once again, there is this feeling of like this person may not have ever had to navigate through certain things before. Like, you could be this person's first and only serious relationship, since this is your future spouse. So there is this feeling of like they're going to have to do things or navigate through things that they've never had to before. But that doesn't even scare this person. This person is just like, okay, what do I need to do? How can I move forward in the best way possible? Because like I said, this is this is a marriage like that they take very, very seriously. Okay. Very, very seriously. They're going to fight for this. And, you know, sometimes that requires them to put their pride to the side, to put their ego to the side. But I think that they have to sit in reflection in order to do that, to understand how to do that, you know, and how to be more, I guess, empathetic in certain situations. But ultimately, I see that this is someone who's always going to want to solve the problem in the best way that they can. This is someone who's not going to give up. This is someone who's going to fight for this marriage. Not to say that it's going to be like a marriage that you have to fight for, like it's so difficult. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying, like, in those times of conflict, this is someone who's going to come up with any solution that they can to remedy the situation here. Okay, but yeah, this person is very they're a very intelligent person, very intelligent with the engineer card coming out. And I think that they are someone who's going to come up with some possibly outlandish solutions. I'm hearing like maybe things that you never would have thought of. This person is going to just come up with like out of the box things to help move things forward in this marriage. I want to go ahead and get some more cards here. Let's see. For pile number 3, please, Spirit, pile number 3. How will pile number 3's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? We have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. Okay, I like that that's coming out here. A win-win outcome is forecast. No matter what happens, it's going to be beneficial for the both of you. So this is kind of giving me an energy of compromise here. Compromise. This person feels like they could like naturally be very headstrong. Like this person feels like before they enter a relationship or a marriage with you, they're someone who's been very independent, someone who's very headstrong, someone who maybe they didn't have to like, you know, compromise too much in their life or in relationships. You know, they kind of always just put themselves first because they were able to do that. And then this marriage kind of gives them the opportunity to have more, it's not even necessarily compassion, but to just compromise with another person. You know, that's kind of what this card is giving me. Like this person is going to try and come up with solutions that will benefit the both of you. Okay, compromise. This person will compromise with you, and that's part of them kind of conquering the ego and putting their pride aside, which is something that might be new for them in this relationship. Okay, once again, I keep getting this feeling that this person may have never had like a long-term serious relationship in the past where they did this, but they feel I'm hearing they feel so loyal to you. But once again, that feeling of like this person takes this marriage very, very seriously. And I'm also seeing this as harmony here. So they're going to do what it takes to maintain a state of balance and harmony in this marriage. They're just gonna do what it takes, pile 3. That's just the best way to put it. They're gonna do what it takes. They're gonna fight for this. They're going to seek advice or guidance if they need to. They're gonna sit in reflection if they need to. They're going to do what it takes to understand what they need to do to handle conflict in this marriage. And I think that they will get to a point where they just instinctively know what to do and how to do it, when to do it. But it is a process. It's a transformation within this person that they go through to understand how to resolve conflict with you in a way that's beneficial for both of you. Okay, let's see what else I can get for you, pile number 3. How will pile 3's future spouse handle conflict within the marriage, please? So we have joy. I feel like this came out in like every pile. It definitely came out in pile 2. Let's get one more. How will pile 3's future spouse? Okay. We have patience. Okay. Very nice. So, you know, this message has come out, I think, for every pile. Your future spouse is someone who just wants to see you smile. They want to see you happy. They want to bring you joy, peace, contentment. And so once again, that message, they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're happy in this marriage. They're going to do whatever it takes to remedy the situation, to handle the conflict in a way that's going to be beneficial for the both of you. And with patience here, Foggy Bog, this person, like I was saying, there is this message coming through that this person may take time to like kind of reflect and think things through to try and understand what to do, especially in the beginning of the relationship here. I'm also seeing that this is someone who's very patient with you. If you ever need time to, you know, reflect and like just kind of be on your own and have time for introspection, they will give you that space. They're very patient with you. I think this is someone who, they're not like rushing to I guess, solve things. And it's not that they want it to just sit there. They definitely don't want it to sit there because it does create stress and anxiety for this person. But I feel like this is someone who can be a little bit of like a perfectionist. So they're going to take time to really think things through, to understand the best course of action. And like I said, if you need that time to think things through and try and understand things, you know, they're going to give you that patience as well. But I think, you know, this person is a little bit of a perfectionist and they just want to make sure that they're handling things the best way that they can, okay? And so sometimes that means that they want to go and seek advice from other people. You know, sometimes that means they just need to sit in reflection for a little bit and try and understand things and try and come up with a solution. You know, they're not just trying to fix things quickly. You know, they're not trying to just throw a band-aid on it and call it a day. They're truly going to, I feel like, get to the root of anything that's causing conflict within this marriage. They're going to want to get to the root of things and dig it out, you know, get to the root and dig it out. And, you know, sometimes that might require a little bit of patience or a little bit of time, but that's how this person is. Like, they want to do things the right way. They want to get to the root of problems. They don't want to just brush over it or just slap a band-aid on it and call it a day. They want to just make sure things are truly, truly good between the two of you, because your happiness is incredibly important to them, because they do take this relationship very, very seriously. So yeah, I feel like I feel like, especially in the beginning of this relationship with this Foggy Bog, things are definitely going to be a little bit hazy for this person, okay? Foggy Bog always makes me think of, you know, not really being able to see very clearly what to do or where to go. Once again, like I was saying, this person is going to kind of feel that way in the beginning of this relationship because they've never really had to navigate through certain things with another person like this before. So, you know, they're going to take that time to try and understand what they need to do and how to navigate through things properly, you know. So pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. I want to thank you so much for being here with me today, for clicking on this video and watching it to the end. If you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!